Okay, so we said a web page is nothing but it is a collection of information for us. Or what do you call? It's a place where we put some multimedia information you're going to put. That may be the text information, or it's going to be a picture, or maybe it's in a video, audio, whatever the different type of um, text that you, I'm sorry, different types of information that you want to put on your web page, we can place onto that. So then a combination or a collection of different web pages is what you call a website is for us. Then how do we design the websites? If you want to design the websites, so we are going to use different technologies we are going to use. One among the technology that we'll be using is HTML. HTML is one technology, one such technology that you'll be using it for designing the web pages. Now, when I want to design my HTML page, as I said that I'm going to use the HTML tags, will be using it. Okay, when I talk about the HTML tags, remember all these HTML tags are predefined. So we have some tags are going to be there. We need to use those tags, and then you have to design your web page has to be designed. For now, generally what we do, the first step is we type the page, or you do the designing of the page, you're going to do it, and then you'll be seeing the result of that particular page. Now comes the question, where do I need to type my page? I mean, all these the tags and all, where I need to type means we can use different things can be made use of. What you call, we can make use of the editors can be made use of for typing the web page. Generally, when you talk about the typing of a web page, you can make use of a simple text editor like Notepad can be made use of, or you can have the editors like Notepad++, or you can also use the editors like Eclipse. All these different types of editors can be made use of it for typing of your web pages can be done. Now, here what I'm doing is I'm using an IDE. I'm going to use what you call integrated development environment. I'm going to use what you call the Visual Studio Code. Okay, I'm using Visual Studio Code for typing of my HTML pages. What is an advantage of using this means this HTML, when I'm going to use my Visual Studio Code, so this is going to give me what you call some predefined facilities going to be there for me. Like for example, let us say, let me close all. Okay, I'll start a new file. I'll select new. I'll select save as, file menu, save as I'm selecting it. So go to the file menu. So how do I open my file menu? So here you see that this is your file menu, right? So I want to open the file menu. So simple method is use Alt plus F, the first letter, Alt plus the first letter. If I'm using it, it opens the file menu for me. And then, so I want to save it. Go to the file menu and then select the option called save here. Okay. Or you can use the option what is called directly. You can call the Control plus S. You can press so that it saves your file. Okay. Now it asks me where it's want to save my file. Now I want to save my file in a folder called BITIT. So in this one, I'm going to have my UI. Okay, I call this an HTML page. Right here, I'm going to save it. Now let us say I call it as the file name. I give okay test.html. I'm giving it. Yes, I'm going to replace this. Okay, fine. So this is my file is going to be created. Now this is my HTML page for me. Okay, when you say the HTML page you're going to design. Now remember when in my Visual Studio Code, I'm using some extensions, I'm using it. So when I'm using my exclamation mark and then I press tab, it is automatically going to give me a set of code it is going to give me. So what are the code it is going to automatically generate for me is, it is going to give me the doc type. So generally when you're going to write the HTML page, so top of the HTML page, you'll be writing the doc type, you'll be writing it. Then you'll be writing the language. So this language indicates what either you're going to use an English language or you're going to use some other language. Maybe you're using the Italian or what languages you're going to use that you're going to specify. Then we are going to have the head section is going to be there. So head section, okay, it has some tags are there. And then so body section is going to be there. Now your code starts with the HTML tag and then ends with the HTML tag. Okay. Now the code is going to start with the HTML tag and ends with a HTML tag. So generally, when you talk about your this one web page, okay. Now here what is happening? Now here in my HTML page, there are two sections are going to be there for me. The first section is my head section. The other section is my body section. Now remember, when you're going to have this, like when I'm going to see the output of this one on my browser, so what we do is we open the browser, and then on the browser we'll be seeing the output. For example, let us say that this is my browser window. What is the window I have drawn is my browser window. Now in this one, the head section, whatever the code you're going to write in the head section part, so this is displayed in the header part of your browser. That is, it is in the invisible part for us. This will not be visible to the user. Now whatever the code that I'm writing in my body section, so that code is visible here for me, right? So in the window you will be seeing the body part. Okay, and then the top. So what we are writing in the head section, that is going to be hidden for the user, so it will not be visible. Like for example, I'm going to have one tag is there called the title tag is there. So this tag called the title, it will be displayed here on the top along with your window title. Okay, so this is what you'll see now, the title of the window, you'll be seeing it. So it's going to show for me on top here. It's what we call the window title. It's going to show for me, right? Okay. Okay. Like if you are not able to understand anything, let me know it. I'll help you out. No issues in that. Now let me clear up this. Then let me go back to this part. Okay. Now here, so this HTML code, when you talk about, this is the language specification. You're going to have it. Then the head section, and then the body section. I'm going to have it here. Now whatever we write in the body part, that is going to be visible to the user. Now let us take one example. I'll take. So I'll say just I'll give some message. I'll be typing hello web users. I'm giving it. Okay, I'm going to use it as hello web users. I'm going to give a message here. Now let me save it. Now where my file is been saved for me is my file is saved in the D drive, BITIT. So HTML folder. Under that we are having a file called test.html file. Now I want to see the output of this one. This is the place where I'm typing my HTML program. I'm typing it, or you're designing a web page. And now I want to see the result of the web page. When you want to see the result of the web page, you're going to use browser. You're going to use it. Okay. So any browser you can make it up. Like for example, here I'm going to use a browser, what you call Chrome browser. I'm going to use it. I'm opening a browser called Chrome. Okay, inside this one, I want to open that file and I want to see the result. There are multiple ways of seeing the result. One method is here in the browser, you press Ctrl plus O, you press it. Then it will show you a dialog box where it will ask you to select the file name that you want to display. So I created my file in the D drive. In that I have a folder. Okay, so now there I'm having a folder called HTML. There I'm having my file called test there. Then I click on it. Okay, sir. Now you see that it's going to give me the message that hello web users. It is going to give me the message. Now you see the data what was there for me in my body part, that you're going to see it here. Okay, so this is what we wrote under the 1 minute. Let me change the color. This output is coming for me from the body part. And then in the head section, if you remember it, I wrote something called title there. So the title part is there on top here. You can see the title there on the top here as document. And then here is the information, it's coming from the body section. So this is there from the body section. So this is there for me from the title section. Okay, let us see. This is my design. Okay. Right. So this is what we wrote under the head section. We are having a tag called the title tag is there. So this whatever you wrote here in the title tag, that is displayed in the window title. And then what we wrote here in the body section, so this is displayed to the user. This is also displayed to the user, but it is there in the top of my window. Okay, we'll discuss all these things. What is this name view part and all that, we'll discuss later. One by one we'll discuss that. So initially we are not going to talk about that one. We'll talk about the title part. So where this title has been displayed for me. Okay, so let us say that in the title I'm going to change it. Okay, let us say I call it as title. I'm giving huddle rise. I'm giving it. Okay, in the title I'm giving huddle rise. I'll save this. Then I'm going to the browser. Now you see that it is going to show me same thing what called document. Now, if you want to see the reflection, whatever the changes you have made, okay, what the changes that you have made, if you want to see that changes, then you have to use the refresh has to be done. So you click on the refresh option. Now you see that it's going to change me to otherwise as a title, and then hello users is going to be when a message is there as it is for me. I didn't change anything, so I'm not going to see the change in the message for us, right? Okay, understood. Now, remember your HTML, all your HTML pages are having some predefined tags for me. So what do you mean by predefined means? You are going, I mean already some tags which have been there defined, we have to use that one alone. Like I'm supposed to use the body tag, I'm supposed to use the head tag, only that tags I'm supposed to use it. So if I'm not using those tags, like for example, let us say that I'm using it as not the body tag. So let us say that I'm using a tag called some spelling mistake I did. So I'm going to boy there, then the output we may get it or we may not be getting it. Proper output we may get, we may not be getting it. So let me see. But it still it is displaying it. Okay. So let us say something will give us. Okay, let me give a tag called Java there. So let us see what is going to happen. No, it is still displaying that. Okay. But generally what happens is in case of your HTML, it consists of only the predefined tags are going to be there. What do you mean by predefined tags? I mean, the tags has their own definition will be there. For example, I'm having the body tag. So in the body tag, we have something, what do you call the H1 tag. Okay, we have a tag called H1 tag is there. So I'm using the H1 tag now. And then I'm typing something there within the H1 tag. So what is it my system understands? What is it my browser knows that is? So if you are using the H1 tag, it has to display the text in the bigger font it has to display. That is what it understands by H1. So let us save it and come back to here browser. I'll just say refresh it. Now you see it's going to show me what the bigger text is going to be displayed for me by when I'm using my H1 tag. Understood? When I'm using my H1 tag, it is going to use the bigger font text it is going to use for me. Okay. Now it understands now H1 means a bigger text has to be displayed. So for example, I'm trying to use a tag called a Java tag there. Okay, and then I say Apple, I'm using it. Let's see what is going to happen. It just displays the Apple there as it is, but it is not doing anything like called the formatting tag. Formatting thing it's not going to do it. Or for example, I have a tag called U tag is there. So use a tag which talks about the underlining. I have opened it, I have closed it. Now, when you look into the output part, you see that it's been underlined there. Now, your browser understands that what it has to do with the tag called a U there. So when I'm using U tag, it is going to underline things for me. Okay, whatever is being placed in the beginning tag and the closing tag. So all those things are going to be underlined for me. Okay, so that is what we say. All your HTML codes, I mean HTML tags are all going to be the predefined tags for me. They have their own meaning for us. Okay. So what do you mean by tags? This what you're placing, right? In less than symbol and greater than symbol. In between the less than symbol and greater than symbol, whatever you're placing, and that's called a tag there, right? Okay. When you talk about the tags, like we have different types of tags are going to be there. Like when you talk about the heading tag, okay, we have the tag called heading tag is there. So from we have the heading tag from H1 to H6, you can make use of it. From H1 to H6, you can make use of it. So when I'm going to use this H1 tag, I'm going to use, so this is going to give me the big font. Okay, the font size will be big for me. So whereas when I take the H6, if I take, so this is going to be the smallest one for us. Okay, this is going to be the smallest for us when I'm going to use a H1. Okay, so we have a tag called paragraph tag, we are having it. So these are the tags I'm talking about. So the predefined, so my predefined tags here. Okay, so paragraph tag, P stands for the paragraph. It's a paragraph tag for us, P stands for. Now remember, most of the tags, whatever you talk about your HTML tags, they have opening and closing. Okay, so opening HTML tag will be, this is for example, it's called opening. So we have closing tag is going to be there. Closing HTML is going to be, you'll use a slash and then we'll be using the tag name you're going to use it. So that is going to be, it's called a closing tag. You call it as an opening HTML or you call it as opening tag, and this is your closing tag, right? So in between these two opening and the closing tags, you'll be writing something, the data you're going to put the data between that. So for example, I open the paragraph tag and then I'm giving hello users, I'm giving it. Okay, I'm closing it. Now that will be acting as one paragraph for us. Or let us say that I want to have some a big font, you want to have it. So I'll be using H1 tag I'm using. Then I'm raising it as huddle rise, I'm writing. I'm closing the tag there. So whatever I have placed into the H1 tag, that alone is going to be forming the big font. And if I'm placing it in a H2 tag, if I'm using, okay, it's going to be in a smaller tag, smaller font, it will be there for me. So let me use this. I'm going to my back to my place where I'm doing my designing part. I'm pasting it here. So H1 I'm using Huddle Rise, H2 I'm using Bangalore there. I'll save this, Alt tab. Now we'll see refresh. Now you see Huddle Rise in bigger font. So Bangalore is in little smaller for me. Why? So for this I'm using the H1 tag I'm using, and for the Bangalore I'm using H2 tag I'm using it. So just only for your reference, I'm just putting the hyphen over there. And okay, so there I'm using H1 tag and H2 tag. So when you talk about the H2 tag, it's going to be a little smaller for me. Now, how about the others? Okay, the other tags are there, for example. Okay, I'm having a tag called H3 tag is there. H3 tag is there, H4 tag, H5. So, right, H4 tag. Okay, save it. So here, to have the understanding of things, I'll say this is H5. This is my H3. This is my H4. This is my H5 tag. I'll save this. Then let me refresh. F5 I'm using it to refresh my page. Now you see that the size is keeping on decreasing for me from H1 to H5 and H6. H6 is going to be a little smaller for me. Okay, H6 I'm using it. H6. H1 to H6 we are going to have it. Like H6 is going to be the most smallest font for us. Okay. Shanti Gaud, you can mute your microphone, please. So if you want to speak anything, right, you can unmute your microphone and you can speak. Otherwise, you can mute your microphone. Okay, this is how the H1 tag to H6 tags are going to be there for us. As we said, like we are going to have this another set of tags are there, like the paragraph tag is there, H1 tag is going to be there, and we have one tag called the U tag is going to be there. So what is this U tag means? U is going to be underlining. So we are going to use U tag. U tag is for underline. So whenever you want the text to be underlined, okay, you're going to use a U tag, you're going to be there. So open the U tag and close the U tag. Whatever the text is being placed between the opening and the closing of U tag, so that is going to be underlined for me. Okay, we call underline. So we have I is there. So this tag it's going to be the italics. Okay, we have the opening and closing are there. Then, so we'll be using B. So B is a tag which stands for the strong there, or what you call bold. Okay, so for bold you want to have it, you'll be using the bold tag, you'll be writing it, right? Now let's see this. The U tag is going to use it for underline. So we'll say this is underlined. The text is going to be underlined for me. I'll take one more. The text is, this is bold, I will take. Okay, one more I want to have it. So one more is for the italics. So for bold, I'll use the tag called B. So for italics, I'll use a tag called I there. Now remember, whatever you're going to put into this opening tag and the opening tag and the closing tag, only that part is going to be underlined, or that part is going to be made bold for us. I'm just using it. I'll say refresh my page. Now you can see the first part is underlined, the second one is bold, the third one is italics for me, right? Okay. So that's how you can make that this italic, bold, and all these tags can be made use of. Like this, we have so many different tags are there. So one among the another tag we are having called strong tag is there. So strong tag, you can have the opening and closing can be there. Okay. So remember, this tag is same as your bold tag. Strong is same as a bold tag for us. Okay. So then we have the italics are going to be there. For italics, we can use emphasized EM tag. We are going to use it. I'll do one thing. I'll just write here itself. So this, or we can have the tag called strong tag. Okay, for this italics, you can have the tag called EM, you can have it emphasized one, like that. Okay, so those tags you can make it up with. All these tags are having some predefined meaning. Now remember, whenever you're going to use these tags, based upon what tag you are used, then based upon that particular tag, what it is going to do, it is going to do the formatting of my HTML text. Is going to, I mean, the text what you're going to have, it's going to be formatted for me. That means it's going to do some changes, it's going to make it, and it's going to display for us onto the screen. We have one tag called a font tag. We are having it. So when I'm talking about the font tag will help me to change the font what I'm going to have it. For example, I'm having font is there. So let us say I'll write here font face. I'm writing font face is equal to I'm writing a font, I'm using a font called Webdings. Now, if you ask me a question why I'm using the font called Webdings, means it is easy for me to identify what is going to happen. For example, let us say that I'm writing welcome, I'm writing it, and then I'm closing the font there. Let us see what is going to come, the output, what it is going to come, then we'll discuss more on that. Right, I'm writing font face is equal to Webdings. I'm writing, that is the name of a font. Okay, Webdings is name of a font. I'll refresh the page. Web. Something wrong. I'm doing a font face Webdings. Okay. Right, now you see that there here on the top, after the apple there, you're going to see some text is going to be displayed there, but it's not in the readable format. It is not there for me. Now what I've done, I have used font, use the font face is equal to something I've written. If I'm using a font like, let us say I'm using a font like Tahoma, I'm using a font name, right? So when I'm using this font called Tahoma there, okay, or let me, don't worry about the BR, I'll explain you BR part. Let us say that I want to use one more font. We have it like Vardena. Okay, the font name is there called Vardena. I'm using it. Now you can see this change that you're going to see in the font style is going to be little there. So you don't, I mean, unless and until there is a keen observation there, you can see the difference there between the style, how the W welcome here is being displayed, and here it's going to be displayed. So to avoid that one, like what I'm doing, I'm using a font called Webdings there. So this font gives me the clear differentiation it gives for me. So that's the reason why I've used the Webdings there. And now when I talk about this BR tag, so BR is one tag, so which will help me to add a new line characters. Okay, so I'm using a tag called br. So this br tag, what has it adds a new line character. Okay, so it adds a new line character in the output for me. So whenever you talk about the output part, let's say, so here we are taking the example. So I'm asking to display the font face, the message called the welcome there. Then I'm closing this. After this display of welcome, I want to move to the next line. So that is what we are done. Here the welcome message has been displayed. After this, the cursor has to be moved to the next line for me. Then I'm writing the BR there so that it moves to the next line for us. And important thing one has to remember is, so the tag BR, it has only opening is there. There is no closing tag for this. There is no closing tag for the BR for us, that you have to remember. And there is another tag called HR tag is there. So this is called the horizontal ruler. Okay, it's a horizontal line. You're going to call rule. Okay, so we are going to have the horizontal rule, or what you call the line it is going to drop for me when I'm going to use the HR. Let me see. After this header rise, below the header rise, I want to print a underline. Sorry, a line has to be printed for me. Then what I'm doing, I'll go back to my code there, test.html. So after this, I want to display, I want to print a new line there. So what I'm doing, I'm using a tag called HR there. I save it, go back to the web page, and then refresh the page. Now you see that line is being displayed for you, right? The line is going to be displayed for us. Okay. Right? Any questions here? So HR tag, I'm going to use it. So this is going to draw the line for us. Okay. Now remember, when I'm talking about the HR tag and BR tag, there are no closing tags for both these. There are no closing tags for us. Okay. Generally, the tags which doesn't have a closing, they are called empty tags. They are called. Okay. Tags which doesn't have the closing tag are called empty tags. Okay. Or some people they call it a void tags. They are called. Why they are called empty means because generally when you are writing this, okay, let me take one example of bold. So we open the bold and then we write some tag over here and then we'll close the tag. Okay, we write some text and then we close the tag. So whereas when I'm using my bold, okay, I'm using my BR, I'm not writing any text. That's why it's called an empty tag, it is called, right? We are not writing any text following it and then we are not going to close them. That's why it's called an empty tag, or there are no text is going to be there or something like that for formatting for us. That's why it is called a void tag, or it is called an empty tag. It doesn't have a closing, right? Okay. But generally what happens is these tags, whatever the tags we are using it, for all these tags, we have the something what you call attributes will be there. So we'll be having what you call attributes. What are these attributes means? The attributes, they enhance the tag for me. They enhance the tag. For example, let us say I'm having a paragraph tag is going to be there. So for the paragraph tag, I'm having some attribute, okay, called align. We are having a attribute called align there. So what is this align tag does is it is going to change the way how the information that is going to be displayed, or what you call the data that is being displayed is going to change how the data is going to be displayed. For example, when I talk about this align attribute, we have different values for the align. Okay, what are the values that we have for the alignments? For example, we have an attribute called, sorry, value is center, then it is left, okay, and then it is right. So remember, left is the default. If you're not going to define anything, okay, when I'm not giving any what you call the attribute for the paragraph tag, then what will happen? It is going to take the default alignment as left alignment. How do I make use of it? For example, so paragraph tag, and then we use the attribute align is equal to, then I'll say it is right there. Then I'll type the text. Okay, let us say I'm writing huddle rise I've just given some text there. Then I'm closing my paragraph tag there. Okay. So let us see this, how it's going to work for me. So this is my HTML rest text that I'm writing it. So the text now here, this is the text which is right aligned for me. So this is right align. Okay. So I want to have one more I'll take. So only to show you that another alignment. So this is, I'm not giving any alignment there. So this is the alignment is default. So I'm not giving any alignment. That is, it's nothing but the left alignment it is. Okay. Now let us say I'm going to have one more paragraph tag. I'm having it. Sorry. Here align. I'm not giving any value for the align. I'm leaving it. Now here I want to get the alignment in the center. It's equal to center. I'm writing it. Okay. Align equal to center. Now this is the hurdle rise for me. What I'm doing it. This is in my center. I'm going to use it. Save it. Then refresh now. You just come down. You'll see now. So default alignment is left for me. This is the text which is being right aligned, and this is the text which is there for me in the center alignment. Okay, clear? So generally when I'm talking about the attributes will help me to enhance the, maybe you're going to enhance the look of it or whatever you call it as, right? So when you want to have some enhancement has to be done, okay, something new for functionality you want to add it, then you're going to use what you call the attributes. You're going to use it. For every attribute, there are some values are going to be there. Now remember, there are many attributes are going to be there for every tag. So what you do is you find out what are the different attributes are there for the different tags are going to be there. Okay. So because each and every attribute cannot be covered here, right? So you just do the research work, right, and find out what are the different attributes are going to be there. So I'll be just telling you some few important attributes only. We'll be just talking about in the classroom as for the classroom is concerned, but you can look into, so lot many different attributes are there. You can always look back into them. Okay. Yeah. Then, okay, let's go back to the font there. Actually what we are using the font, you're writing that face is equal to, right? This is the attribute. Okay. So if I'm not defining anything, it's going to take me the, so default color, I mean default font is going to be taken for me. If I want to change the font, I can specify the font there. Okay. Along with the font, we can also have one more attribute can be given. So what is, I'll just use a face there, font face. It's equal to Times New Roman. I'm giving Times New Roman. That is the name of the font. That is Times New Roman is the name of the font. Then I'll also make use of the option called color there. Color is equal to, I'll just say red. One more attribute I'm using it, and then I'm going to type some message there. I'll just save it, and then I'm coming back. Now it says that. Now you can see the text is being displayed for me in the red color. So that is, I'm using one more attribute there called the red, sorry, color. So color is the name of the attribute that you're going to use it. So for which you're going to give some value there. Color equal to red, I'm defining it. Okay. We said the attributes are going to enhance the look and, or what you call, they'll change the way how uh, my tags are going to work for me, right? Like this. Right. So you can use it, and as well as you can have one more attribute is going to be there, like what you call a size attribute. You can give it. So size is equal to, so I'm writing 4, I'm giving it. Okay, so this is the apple color. This is the size 4 it is. Okay, so let us say this is the size 7, I'll make it. Now for this, I'll make this size equal to 7. Save it, refresh the page. Now you see the size is 7 and size is 4. You can see the difference is there. So it's going to increase the font size for me, right? So that is how you're going to use the attribute called size attribute. You're going to use it. So that depends upon like what form in tag you're going to use it. So attributes will be different for different tags for us. Okay. Similarly, so we were talking about the attributes like, sorry, the tags like what you call HR tag and all that. So for this HR tag and all, we have the attributes are going to be there. So what is that? We have an attribute what we call width is there. HR, and then I'll use the width there. So width. So I don't want the line to be drawn for the complete line. I don't want it. I want to get only 50% of my window. I want to get the line. Then I'll say 50 and I say percentage I'm giving. So when I say 50%, then what will happen? It is going to draw only line is going to be only for the 50% of your window, not for the 100% of your window. For example, I'm going to have this. So after this, I'm writing, okay, HR width is equal to 50% I'm giving. Then let's see what is going to happen. So earlier the line what you have drawn here, the full line is there for the complete window, it's going to be there. Now after this, I'm writing in HR tag I'm using, but I'm using what width is equal to 50% I'm giving. Let's refresh the page and then HR WIDTH width.
Given 50, sir. 50 you given.
Okay, thank you. Yeah. So I'm giving 50% there, right? So then I'll refresh my page now. You see that it's going to display the line there on bottom. You can see the line there. Okay, there is a line coming for me on the bottom. Okay, by default it is there for me. So in my center of my screen, I want to change the alignment to left alignment. I want to have it. So I'm having left alignment. So you can see that the line has been changed to the left side there. Okay, like that. So you can have the different options can be used. What you call the attributes can be made use of, and then you can change how the tag, the behavior of the tag can be changed for us. Okay, so this is how we are going to have the tag attributes will be working. For every tag, there is a different set of attributes are going to be there. You can make use of them. Just go through them. Okay, so how we can make use of the tags, attributes, and all that. Similarly, so we have the attribute what you call BG color. I'm having an attribute. I'm having an attribute called BG color. So this attribute called BG color is available for body tag. Now let us say that I want to change the background color of my body the web page. So by default is happening what the web page is going to be the background of my web page is going to be white there. No, I don't want it. I want to have the background color is going to be something like green or orange or something like that. I want to have it. Then what I can do, so I'll go to my body tag, and then after the body tag, I'll just say BG color is equal to, okay, I'm giving it as orange. I'll give, okay, I'm giving that BG color is equal to orange, and then I'm just saying refresh it. Now you can see that it's the page, the background page has been changed to orange color for us, right? So the color is changed to orange for it. Now, or let us say, so I don't want the orange color, I don't want it. I want the green color I want. So you can give the green there. Okay, you can give the green color. So like this, you can specify which color you want it. The important thing one has to remember is when I'm going to give the colors there. So what I'm doing is BG color is equal to color name I'm using it. So we call them as color name. You are going to define the color names. COLOUR, sorry. Okay, you're going to define the color name. That means you call the name here, it's called the named color. So we call them as a named colors, right? So named colors means what? You're going to give like example red, green, okay, orange, like this you're going to give it. Like for example, are you giving violet, sky blue, something like that you're going to give it. Okay. Or I can also have another way of doing this, the color names, that is I can give the BG color is equal to, I can give some hexadecimal values I can give. So I'll be giving hexadecimal value, right? How this hexadecimal value, when I'm going to give the hexadecimal value will be starting with a hash symbol. And then, so this hash followed with, you are going to use the red, that what you call RGB, you call it as red, green and blue combination. So we are going to use red, green and blue combination. You're going to use it. What do you call it? You know that these are called the primary colors. They are called. Okay, I'm going to give the color combination. They're called the RGB there. So I need to give the combinations of RGB combinations. Now, before we give some values, we'll talk about the what is the max value you're going to have it. So the maximum value that we'll be using for the R or G or B is going to be 255 is going to be max value. That is, if you look into the hexadecimal, it's going to be FF for me. So then the minimum value for is 0. Okay, then in my hexadecimal also it's going to be 0 for me. For example, let us say I want to get the red color, I want to get it. Okay, red color I want. So when I want the red color, so what we are going to do? So we are going to use the max red value. So FF I'll be using it. FF stands for the 255 there, and then 0 0 I'm using it for the G, that is green, and then next one is blue for me, right? So two digits you're going to use it for the hexadecimal values. So first 2 digits for the red, 2 digits for the green, 2 digits for the blue for us. Now for the red color I'm using like this. Now let us say that I want to get blue color. I want, okay, I want to get the blue color. So I'll make the other two as minimum. So blue I wanted RGB. So I'll make this blue as a max value. So this is going to give me the blue color. Okay. So let us say you want to get the green value. So you make all the other two, you make it as minimum. Then green component, you make it as maximum. You'll get the green color. Okay. Right. I want to get the white color. I want to get it. So when I want to have the white, you can specify all the 3 max values you can specify. So when I'm specifying all the 3 with the max values, then it's going to give me the white color. Similarly, if I want to get the black color, I want to get, then what I can do, I'll be giving all the 3 values as minimum values. Okay, all the 3 I'm giving the minimum values. When I give all the 3 as minimum values, it's going to get me the black color. Let us see one example. We'll see. I'll switch there. So I want to use green there. Now instead of writing the color code as green, so if the first component is going to be R for me, it's a minimum. G value, RGB, FF I'll give. The next one is going to be blue. Blue I'll give it as 0 there. Right? Okay. So this should give me the green color. Yes, we are getting the green color. We got it. Right? Now let us say I want to get the blue combination I want to get. So blue I'll make it as a max. The other two I'll make them as minimum. Now you get the blue color there, right? Like that. Now you don't want you want to have the white, it's the default white you want to have it. You can say FF you can use. You can use caps or you can use small letters. Both are going to be the same for us. There is no effect in the small letters and the capital letter combination. Clear? So any questions are there? You can just unmute your microphone and let me know. Otherwise, I'll be keeping on continuing it. Okay. Then, so this is how you specify the colors. When I want to specify the colors, I can use the named color values can be used, or what you can do, we can use the color combination can be used. No, I don't. Okay, I know the standard colors, I know it, but what about the other colors? Like for example, maybe a sky blue or orange or gold color or something like that. I want to have it. Then what you can do, you can have the different combinations can be used. The different combination of red, green, and blue values combination. If you use it, you'll get the different colors. Will be getting it. For example, let us say in my Visual Studio Code, when I'm using the Visual Studio Code, so in Visual Studio Code, so we have the options where it is automatically going to tell us the suggestions it gives me. So the colors I'm going to have it. So I'm using a red color. It gives me my suggestion is going to be red color there. Okay. Or I'm having hash and then I'm writing, okay, 23 FF 45 given. I given some color code there. So I'll just say refresh. Now you see some color is going to come for me. So here the green domination is going to be there because there is a domination from the green color. Let us say that I'll change these values also to, okay, some 99 I'll make it. So I'll make, okay, RGB, the blue values I'll make the max. So when I make the blue value max, you see that the blue domination will be there. Okay, like that. So no, I don't want to have this one domination also. I want to have this one also, some other value. Then you see that the combination, because of the combination, you get some other colors there. So what the combinations of color combinations you are using, based on that, the output is going to be different for me. The colors, that is, colors will be different for us. Okay. Right. That's how you can have the different combination of colors, and you can get the different colors can be used. Okay, done.